Hello there guys, welcome to my review of the 2006 CollectA Velociraptor. Now, this is of course being done as a result of the poll, which last time I looked was about 50-50 between this review and the DynaQuest behind the scenes, and by proxy I'm just doing the easier one first. So I'll save that rant for something else. Now, of course, this is my original one, and then this is the one I bought. When did I buy this? A couple of months ago for something else. But it has, of course, also appeared in DynaQuest, but stuff you haven't seen yet. Of course, being from 2006, these are kind of bad. As far as Velociraptor goes, this is obviously heavily inspired by Jurassic Park. But as we'll see in the size comparisons, they did a lot better than a certain other company. There are subtle differences between these two. Like, the inside of the mouth is darker on my older one, and on this one is actually better quality-wise because they actually bothered to paint the inside of the nostrils, and also there's some paint bleeding up onto the fingers from the claws on this hand. Oh yeah, also, if my channel's the only place you've ever seen this thing, this is what the right hand looks like. It's sort of got two different hands. Obviously, lack of feathers, which is kind of bad. Although the colours are quite nice. It's got this sort of almost greyish green, I guess, with patches of white and proper grey on the underbelly. The dew claws are a bit weird because not only does it have a reversed hallux, but they're also coming out of the ankle for some reason. Like, this is not where the first toe was. The first toe was here, like on every other dinosaur. The first finger, especially on this hand, is too long, and the claw is a bit small. I think if you close the mouth it would have lips, so good job there, I guess. Neither of them actually have the rictus painted a different colour. And of course slit pupils. I don't like slit pupils, I don't think it's that accurate. And there is some minor shrink wrapping, especially on the head. But yeah. Compared to a lot of other stuff from 2006 that CollectA made, these are okay. Like, the pose could have been improved on, obviously, because they are dragging their tails, and they do have pronated hands. But as far as a neutral pose goes, I guess it's okay. The head is definitely... the head's too wide. These are definitely more akin to Deinonychus than to Velociraptor. This one does have a slightly more curved tail, but yeah, whatever. And these won't be playing the same character in the series I bought this thing for, because there are subtle differences, and I also don't want to repeat the whole lost hand thing that I did with Greywacke and Archosaura, because that's, I don't know, it's a bit overused. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course, also the proportions are a bit off, and it's got barely any tail muscles. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this. Detail's alright though. Yeah, well, Okay, guess I'll just move on to size comparisons then. To show what Schleich was doing with Velociraptor in 2006, here's my Schleich Velociraptor, which looks even less like Velociraptor. Yeah. Then we got the Safari Mini, which, aside from the fact that it doesn't have any feathers, is probably pretty good as far as the featherless raptors go. And the Safari Baby Raptor, which is also apparently a Velociraptor. Got my K&M Velociraptor from 1997. Constant size comparison of the Papodimetrodon. Like, I don't really know what scale these are. Got the 2012 Lego Raptor, which of course is quite a bit out of proportion. And blowing everything else out of the water is the Safari Feathered Raptor. And just for kicks, also got the Velociraptor Skull from the Dino Skulls 2 by Safari. And for something else that's not a raptor, is the CollectA Mini Pachycephalosaurus. So, yeah. I haven't really thought much about the rating of these things. Well, I say this thing. They're exactly the same figure. I'm not going to say anything about the fact that this one lost a hand, because I think I figured out how that happened, because this wrist is actually annoyingly flimsy. Like, we were out in the sun filming for 5 hours a couple of weeks ago, and this thing was starting to get a bit floppy. Accuracy-wise, it's pretty bad, but for an old collector figure, I'd say it's okay. Like, especially compared to things like their old Triceratops and stuff. I just wish they'd remade this thing. This figure is nearly 20 years old, and they haven't redesigned it like they have with so many other of their figures. So I think I'm gonna have to give it a 2.9 out of 5, which might be my lowest score I've ever given. I don't know. Someone's gonna call me out in the comments for saying that. Right. So yes, I've got another sort of review coming soonish, but it's for Lego Minecraft, and at some point I'll get around to writing a script and working out stuff for the Phase 2 behind the scenes for Dino Quest. So, at this point, the next video you'll be seeing from me is on Monday. So, see you then.